We never ask ourselves who we really are. We always go on with our lives, think we know ourselves, but we never write it down or ask about it as a whole. Now, I can spend all day talking about who I really am, but I will summarize it in 3 words. I am passionate, optimistic, and logical. To start off, I will explain why and how I'm passionate. For a big part of my life, it was just about finishing school and getting to a good college because that was what was applied to me by my parents, and your parents have a big influence in your life. It wasn't until middle school that I found out there are other things to be passionate about. For example, I grew to love breakdancing. It was something that was fun and it came natural to me, and I just really loved doing. Also, in high school, this is probably the most passionate thing I've ever been passionate about was tennis. It was a sport that I really loved, and it was something that I wanted to get better at, and it was something I just wanted to feel good about. But this is also a weakness of mine. Being overly passionate means that, or being overly passionate was my only motive to do things. And there are a lot of things that you don't want to do, but I want to be able to put 100% in everything I do, so I am still working on that. Now, the second word that describes me is being optimistic. Now, my parents were struggling while I was growing up. There were times where we were in debt, and there are times where we would be in a crisis. But my parents always had a good mindset. They were always saying, "It's okay, we'll be all right." Now, with this type of mindset, it translated onto me while I was growing up. So I took that mindset into everything I did, whether it was big or little. And finally, the third word that I use to describe myself is being logical. Now, I believe that being logical is a big part of growing up because you need to be able to think rationally and clearly. And being logical helped me a lot in my life. It solved arguments right away, or it released a lot of stress from any further disruption. For example, if you're in a relationship and you're in an argument, there are a lot of emotions that are played and going around. And sometimes it's best just to be logical and be a bigger person and agree to disagree. Now, this is also a weakness of mine because being logical, or I can be overly logical. And like I said earlier, there's times to be logical and there's times to be emotional. Now, sometimes I'm overly logical because sometimes I just want to be right, but I'm working on that. Sometimes I just need to be more emotional. Now, to tie all these 3 words together, I brought my tennis racket. Now, the sport I feel like really applies to the 3 words that I described today. Passionate, like I said earlier, I was very passionate about the sport. I loved to play it. It was what I did every day. And to be optimistic, you need to have a good mindset if you want to win games. And to be logical, you need to know your strengths and weaknesses, and that's how you will become a better player. Now, I hope this helps you have a better understanding of me, and I thank you for listening to my speech.